Whoever knew that the key to immortal life is being commanded to never grow old or die by your queen? Where are the Fab Five when you need it? Orlando! Released in 1992 and is directed by Sally Potter, who's behind such films like The Tango Lesson, The Man Who Cried, Rage, and Ginger and Rosa. A bunch of films that I have never heard of. And this film is starring Tilda Swinton, this is a one-woman show. Or a man-woman. She was a man, and then a woman. Let's get into it. Orlando is loosely based on the Virginia Wolfe 1928 novel of the same name. And the film opens in the Elizabethan era, and Queen Elizabeth I has come to visit. And Elizabeth meets a young, androgynous nobleman by the name of Orlando. And after a short little romantic period together, the Queen offers Orlando a huge plot of land for him to land on. Sounded very Pocahontas-y. Think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim, but I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. But her only requirement in order for Orlando to inherit this land is for him to never age and never grow old. Oh, really? That's all that I need to do? Done? And the film shoots forward through several decades with Orlando searching for a romantic partner. Orlando is given all of this wealth and all of this land, but all that he wants, and I think it's right at the beginning of the movie, he says that I don't want any of that. All that I want is companionship. All he wants is love. Love is all you need. But Orlando is going from relationship to relationship and betrayal to betrayal that he starts swearing off women, and then he starts swearing off men, and is just trying to find himself until one day he wakes up and his body has been turned into the female sex. And it's not a case of identity. No, his body has literally been transformed with all the female parts attached. And I have to be honest, that was the thing that I was struggling the most with in terms of like following the story. I got no problem with that in real life at all. But in terms of following the story, I didn't know, okay, is Orlando supposed to be a guy? And then he's going after women and then decides to swear them off and then becomes homosexual and gives that a try, and then is transformed into a woman. I'm kind of confused here. And then after researching, I find out that yes, Orlando in the beginning of the story is supposed to be the male sex. Which then also confused me because Tilda Swinton, by all accounts, and from what I'm told and from what I see, is the female sex. So it's a woman playing a man who loves women and then gets turned into a woman and loves men again, basically loves Billy Zane again, and then yeah, we're off to the races. Which I have to say, I love the fluidity of gender and sexuality in this film. Our society nowadays puts so much stock on labels. What are you? Are you a man? Are you a woman? How do you identify yourself? Are you straight? Are you homosexual? Are you transsexual? We put so much emphasis on who we are and how we identify ourselves, and there is, granted, a lot of power in being confident and being passionate by the label that you are and that you give yourself. But I think we as a society put too much stock in that label. If we're looking at it in the business world, I don't care who you identify yourself as, who you sleep with. Can you do the job and can you do it well? Perfect. You're hired. Let's go. If you're one of my students, I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you identify yourself as long as you're confident, you believe in yourself, and you're here to learn and do what's actually required of you in your syllabus, then we're gonna be fine. So I love how this movie just plays with that and just gives Orlando all the labels and all the things. And we get to see how men and women are treated throughout all the centuries. And spoiler alert, it's not too good for women. Orlando inherits this huge estate and all of this money from Queen Elizabeth, and then when this transformation, I don't even know how it happens, it's not supernatural in any way, it just happens, and Orlando becomes a woman, and then all of a sudden all of these lawsuits start coming in and like, oh, well, we didn't actually believe that you were a man in the beginning, and women actually can't own property, so we're gonna take everything away from you. Then enters Billy Zane on horseback. Let's just stop and just appreciate that Tilda Swinton and Billy Zane are in this movie. one person who just looks so androgynous and is so goddamn sexy, and then you have Billy Zane, who just oozes sex appeal. Let's take a moment. However, Billy Zane is not really in this movie for a very long time, so he's on the cover of the DVD that I purchased. It's a little shady to put him on there, because he's, in here for 5 minutes total? This is the Tilda Swinton Show, and I love her as an actress. She is one of my favorite actresses working today. I think she's fantastic. I think she does a good job here. I think she's very subtle in her physicality choices when she was playing Orlando as a man. And then to see that flip when Orlando becomes a woman, and seeing Orlando figuring out, oh, all of these huge-ass gowns that all of these women had to wear throughout the centuries. Why did society make it so goddamn hard to wear clothing? In the 1800s, you have all of these big, poofy-ass dresses. It's not comfortable at all. Because they were put on display, they were only meant to be looked at, not to be listened to. I know, I get it. Doesn't mean it can't piss me off. That being said, though, the costume design for this movie, it's stellar. I love these costumes. They're just so grand, and they take up so much room on screen. Whenever you see these costumes come in, they command your attention. It also makes you ask, why the fuck did we wear that back then? I guess we're asking those questions nowadays, too. Why? Oh God, why? The film is shot very dark, though. There were many, many times and many scenes where I could barely see anything on screen, which I'm thinking is probably more of a stylistic choice. They were probably going for more natural lighting, or at least lighting of what it was back in the 1600s and 1700s. All you got is sunlight and candles. And candles don't give off enough power and energy to light a frickin' room. Still doesn't mean it wasn't frustrating as the audience member watching this thing. It's a movie that I don't think I was actually prepared to watch. It took me a while to get into it. I was wondering, what the hell am I getting myself into? It was a good, 35-40 minutes before I was actually following it and actually getting invested in the story. Which sucks, because this movie is only barely an hour and a half. So it got me. I think it got me a little bit late in the game, but I was into it eventually. And then the movie ends in a very strange, meta, and just awkward way. We jump almost 100 years into the future, where it's 1992, it's present day, and she's selling a manuscript. Spoiler alert, you've been warned. She's selling the manuscript of the movie that we just watched to a publisher. And he's going yeah, I think it's good. I think it'll work. And Orlando has a daughter, and she's sitting down on a tree, and she's looking up at the sky, and she's crying, and they have one of those old, small videotape recorders, and they're looking up in the sky, and there's this weird coloratura male soprano angel thing up in the sky. And the quality of it reminded me of that falsetto cowboy video. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it. That is the same quality and the same sounds that we were getting, and I couldn't help but laugh in the climax and the ending of this movie. So it completely lost me there. If you're in the mood for a dramatic picture, and one that makes you think, one that makes you question a lot of things, one that makes you, kind of dive into the social message of what is sexuality and what is gender identity, I think you'll have a good time here. To be honest, this movie was an hour and a half. It felt a lot longer. It felt like 2.5 hours, personally. I'm going to give Orlando 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos, where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. The next one comes as a recommendation, but it's also an inner desire too, to watch the movie Parasite, winner of Best Picture at this year's Academy Awards. And it is the most requested movie for me to watch. Rusted Beetle, Jack Tilly, DSR Anime, Nagama Tman, I'm sorry about that one, and Chloe J, or as I used to pronounce that name, Chlo J. But I've been wanting to watch this movie, and I figure, you know what, now is the perfect time to do it. It's March, it's the beginning of my birthday month, I'm gonna give myself a birthday present. So we'll check out Parasite next time. Thank you very much, Rusted Beetle, for the recommendation of Orlando. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, leave your comment below this video, go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter, leave your recommendation there. If I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. So guys, if you've seen Orlando, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before, and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And if you like what you saw here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button. It helps with growing this channel and growing this community. If you have friends, if you have family members that love hearing people talk about movies, and if they haven't come over here yet, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. What are they waiting for? What are you waiting for? Get them over here. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers and very close for me to torture myself and reward everyone by releasing my recording of me watching Arachnophobia. It's going to be hilarious for you. I promise. I still haven't recorded it yet, so I'm holding off. I'm probably not going to record it until I hit 1,000 subscribers. Because I don't want to watch the movie. I don't know why I agreed to doing that. But it's because I love you guys. And I think you guys love seeing me torture myself. I think it's funny. It won't be funny. It won't be funny that day. How cool, though, would it be if it was funny? Maybe this movie is just absolutely terrible. Like, the CGI and everything is awful, and maybe I'll be able to get through it. So, guys, I will see you next time with my review of Parasite. So, in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.